I love Samsø because it's safe and people are nice. Yeah, people are nice to each other. When we meet, we say hi, we smile to each other.
The reason why I love Vorupør is the nature. I'm in love with that. I'm in love with the ocean. The town itself is really quiet.
I love Læsø because it's really beautiful here. It's not that tourism. You can drive around without seeing people. I think it's a good mindset.
Young people are leaving Danish rural areas. They move to the city to study, to work, but most of them don't come back, with all its consequences. But some of them choose a different path. They move to those areas, to work, to live. They go the other way around.
It's a set menu where we have been inspired by the Christmas menu. So we have chopped it up for 10 courses.
The 24-year-old Camilla Christensen started her restaurant Vesterøl a year ago with her boyfriend Thomas. He is responsible for the kitchen, she for the wine and the service. Their restaurant is located in the village Vesterøhavn on the island Læsø in the north of Denmark. An island with only 1,800 people, where the biggest part of the population is older than 40. Camilla studied in Copenhagen, but started her business here on this island.
A day I was like, I have enough of the town. I didn't want to use it anymore, and I didn't use the cafes and all those things. I wanted to go to the ocean and the forest.
Camilla knew a place that had those things, as she was born and raised on the island.
I think my childhood was pretty safe and pretty good, more than city childs. I want to go back because my family is here and my grandma is not getting younger.
Camilla came back because she grew up on the island, but sometimes a place offers something special that actually makes young city people move there. For example, waves.
I definitely feel better. I always feel better when you've been out in the ocean, especially with the surfboards. It's less like uplifting. So now the rest of the day is going to be like 10-20% better for sure.
Vorupør, a village with not even 600 inhabitants, still manages to make some young people move there. The waves in this part of Denmark gave the coast the nickname Cold Hawaii. For the most passionate surfers, like Alex Bengtsson, this is the Danish Surfvalhalla.
So this is the house that I moved into. I fell in love with 2.5 years ago. It's an old fisherman's house from, I don't know, 100 years old or something.
Alex discovered the place during a surf trip to one of the surf towns in the area. He had the idea to live there for quite a while, and when he could get the house, he left Copenhagen and moved to the coast town.
I mean, obviously life is much more relaxed up here, much more chilled. I like that a lot. Copenhagen is super busy. I remember my life in Copenhagen. I mean, I really like Copenhagen. It's not that I'm a hater or anything. But I felt, looking back, there was a lot of kind of stress. I mean, so many things happening. Waking up in the morning until I went to bed, just stuff happening all the time. You know, meeting friends, meeting family for that matter, or having a lot of meetings and business meeting, busy.
When I was living in the city, I was always out for bars. I was out of restaurants, and I have another life there. Now I do not drink anymore, I do not smoke anymore. I've been more grown up, I think. So it was, I see it quite different from life.
Camilla and Thomas want to focus with the restaurant on fine dining. And one of the events that they are organizing is a Christmas dinner with a lot of local guests. For Camilla, it wasn't always sure if she would come back. Other people from these kind of areas always knew that they would go back to their home soil. Eskil Kjelsmark, 28 years old, was born on Samsø, an island in the center of the Danish archipelago, with 50 plus being the largest age group. Young people need to leave the island to study, like Estrid did. But she came back after that.
Then I came back and thought I wanted to go away again. So I actually lived in Copenhagen. I moved over there for a winter because, yeah, I can do that, because there's not busy down over here. So I moved to Copenhagen and I was there for 1 week. And then I needed to go back. So during that week, I really found out that I'm gonna stay here in Samsø, like forever. It's not me living in a bigger city.
Estrid still has family in Copenhagen and visits them sometimes with her husband. Being there, she sees the different ways of living.
When I come back from a weekend in Copenhagen, it's just really nice going down in our grocery store and just say hi to everybody, and people are smiling to me and I can smile back at them, and yeah, it's more personal. It's making me feel very good, and it's making me feel, kind of not loved, but wanted, that appreciated at somehow. Yeah, unique, you can say.
The seasons on the island, with less than 4,000 people, are very different from each other. Estrid runs a holiday center and campsite, which she owns with her family. The summer brings a lot of tourists to the island. But in winter, the center is closed for guests. Only locals can use the bowling lanes. Running a tourism-based business makes you dependent on the seasons.
Yeah, we can run a okay business, not like you get very rich of that. We couldn't get paid in the winter, and then we started with 1 and 2 and 3, and now all 4 of us is actually getting paid right now, but usually we can't do that. We have to have another job in the winter, or I don't know, get from the social security, kind of.
In the summertime we don't have time for anything, we just open and close, sleep. But here in the wintertime you have time to do more finesse on your things. So it's kind of we're trying to be better in the wintertime. Yeah.
But having more time in winter doesn't mean Camilla doesn't have to work hard.
We're always in a hurry before service because we're doing new courses, new menus almost every day, so we never know exactly what the precise outcome will be. So experimenting a lot.
Trying to focus a lot.
Alex didn't really have a place to work when he moved to North Fort Bø. That's why he started a co-work place to work together with young people from the village, called Surf and Work. He himself owns a longboard business, but the companies at the co-work place are all different.
We have people doing apps, actually. Then, as you can see on the wall down there, we have people in here doing surfboards. They do clothes as well and have a surf shop.
Although the members of Surf and Work have totally different working fields, they all have one thing in common.
We chose to live here, not because of work, that we wanted to make money or a big career. We did it because we wanted to surf. So that's actually the whole concept, why we moved to this little town with, 600 people coming from Copenhagen with 1 million people. Business-wise, it's super bad, but personally, it's everything. I mean, in Copenhagen, where I'm from, you are expected to have a good education. You are expected to make money. You are expected to, go on fancy restaurants with you, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on you, I think, from the government, but also just from your surroundings, that you have to make money, make a career, blah, blah, blah. Oh my fucking God, And out here, there's no expectations. People don't give a shit. They don't give a shit how I look. They don't give a shit about, what. Okay, I don't have a car, but if I would drive a car, what car do I drive? People that don't have that expectation, and that, takes away a lot of, from your shoulders.
Big cities attract young people with education opportunities. Old people stay behind. The aging population in those areas comes with some significant challenges. Less young people means less money for the municipalities and closing schools and sport clubs, which doesn't attract young people to move there. It's a downward spiral. These places are sometimes called Udkants Denmark, outskirt Denmark, mostly the smaller islands in the west coast, which is sometimes referred to as the rotten banana because of the shape of the coastline. Both names can be considered offensive by the locals due to the negative stigma. Being relatively far from a large urban area can be caused by a ferry connection. The lack of a bridge makes the inhabitants dependent on the ferry's timetable.
Totally is Udkants Denmark, and it is because the ferry, because it's taking 1.5 hours, so it's really taking us away from the rest of Denmark.
There's nothing negative about Udkants Denmark or outskirts Denmark for me. Actually, it's the total opposite. I love Udkants Denmark. I used to be a big city guy, loving the urban jungle and the busyness and all the parties and all the cultural events happening. But out here, the cultural events is the nature. And that's, for me, now, way more inspiring to be around.
I like to think there is more opportunities in the cities. I have this, or actually it's my dad's aunt. She's 93 years old and she lives in Copenhagen, and she's busy all the time. She's doing computer lessons and, I don't know, meeting with old colleagues and everything. And I'm kind of wondering, is it going to be the same over here when I get old? I don't think there is all those opportunities over here.
Out of this part of Denmark, Læsø is a blacklisted. If you go to the bank, if you want to invest it, if you want to start your own company, it's really hard. You really have to have your own money to start it.
Camilla and Thomas started the business with their own savings. Now, the restaurant has a waiting list in summer and is being visited a lot by locals in winter. Those locals come, for example, for a Christmas dinner for which the preparations are almost done. So, Camilla needs to brief the staff about the wines. All for the perfect experience. And that focus in particular
Voila!
made them win a prize in the prestigious White Guide.
So it's just talking about how happy we are and grateful and what is gonna be in the future for us to have this prize for the restaurant.
Since they've won the prize, the social structure and social rules on the island became more visible.
You can feel like you are better than other people. So when we won a prize with the best feel-good experience in the White Guide, we came back to the island and the first word we got was like, "Oh, so you're getting pricey now." That's not nice. I would like to have a congrats, or I would like to have a high five or something like that.
Honored with the prize, it's unknown how busy next summer will be. But it's winter now, and they can focus on the locals, on improvement, and try out new things. With for today, the Christmas dinner.
I think this is experience I want to have for a few years, and after that I take the future day by day. So I don't have to figure out what I was doing after that.
Yeah, I think we will grow old here. For me, the island is my home. Yeah, and I want to take care of it, and of course I want the best for the island. You know, I want more people to live over here, so it's not going to be like a dead island.
I don't know if I'm going to live here forever. I mean, so far, I love to be here. Right now, I can't see that as there's like a alternative that can compare with the Vorburg. But you never know. Maybe I find a new Sankila in the future, I don't know.
I think it went pretty well. People is happy, enjoying, so it's nice. I'm satisfied, of course I am. I've used so many hours for doing this, so why shouldn't I? If you're not as satisfied, if you're not happy, what's the point? Of course I'm happy. It's my work.